Welcome back to the Talk Healing to Me podcast. This is the solo episode. You are brushing your teeth twice a day. You're flossing, well, most days. And you think your teeth have nothing to do with your fatigue or your brain fog or that weird joint pain that flares up for no reason. But what if I told you your mouth might be sabotaging your health? Well, in this episode, I'm breaking down 10 things I learned from my chat with Dr. Kelly J. Blodgett, a world-leading holistic dentist who completely flipped the script on what oral health actually means. So we're talking about mercury, root canals, stress, inflammation, and how your teeth might be sending distress signals that your body can't ignore. If you've got chronic symptoms and haven't thought about what's going on in your mouth, this one might just be the one that changes everything. Let's get into the 10 takeaways that had me rethinking everything from fillings to fatigue. This podcast is for educational purposes only and is not medical advice. Always consult your doctor. Views shared are personal and not a substitute for professional guidance. So the first one was, your mouth is the front door to your health. So Dr. Kelly reminded us that oral health is not just about your teeth. Your mouth is a gateway to your bloodstream, your brain, your organs, and your nervous system. So when we ignore what's happening in the mouth, so infections or metals or inflammation, we're ignoring messages from the rest of our body too, especially for people with any chronic conditions. And that just might be chronic fatigue, but it also might be an autoimmune diagnosis as well. So this is a huge deal. The second one, now I knew a little bit about this before, but not as much as this. So mercury fillings are not inert. They release toxins daily. So mercury fillings, those silver ones from years ago, release vapor every day. When you chew, breathe, or even just exist, that vapor, it builds up, especially in the nerve tissue, which is not what anyone, especially with a chronic condition, wants to hear. What I thought was wild was when he talked about if you are removing mercury, you need to have like a machine that costs over $10,000 and you can't touch it, you can't do anything with it. So why would it be okay in our mouths? Wild to me. Wild, wild, wild. The third one was even the dental industry, I suppose, is admitting this now. The American Dental Association now says that mercury is risky for kids under 6 and pregnant women. What about everyone else? Apparently it's fine. And let's just say, I'm not convinced. Are you? Yeah, strange one. The fourth one was dental trauma is cumulative, so go slow. Dr. Kelly said it clearly. Every time you drill into a tooth, you traumatize the nerve. So if you're removing fillings or getting crowns, it needs to be done carefully. Once you take off the enamel, that's it. There's no growing it back. So be cautious, not aggressive. Now, I thought that was interesting, but as we get a little bit further, I'll talk about it because I don't think I'd have the confidence to, say that. And that is my fifth point. You're allowed to ask questions. Well, I feel like it's a pretty vulnerable position when you're sitting there with your mouth open and somebody has a drill and, one of those scrapey things, and you're then going, trying to then get a sentence out, what is it that you're doing here? You then, I don't know about me, or maybe it's just dentists that I've been to, I'd be worried then that they think you're really arrogant or obnoxious, and then, I don't know, maybe not take as much care. Obviously that would be, without integrity, but I don't know. I still don't think I'd have a huge amount of confidence to say that. I don't know if you've ever felt silly or too much for questioning a dentist. You're not, is what Dr. Kelly says. He wants people and his patients to ask. One of the things he said was, I don't want to own someone else's health choices. I want them to make their own. I feel like I would need to do a lot of reading before I did that, or feel like I'd go in well equipped. But I think that's where the preparation is key. And the sixth point, which is what Dr. Kelly Blodgett said, was vet your dentist. So he mentioned this SMART certification and that it does matter. Safe mercury amalgam removal technique. And they do that through the IAOMT. Now that's probably in the States. I looked it up and I couldn't find any Irish ones over here. But maybe in the world where you are, they might. But even then, he said to still ask questions. Do they offer safety protocols? What materials do they use? And do they take time to explain things? And I suppose really, this is your body and you are allowed to get picky. I think maybe I'm just a little bit lazy about doing the research, if I'm honest. I just want to go to the dentist and let them do it. And I'm one of those patients that Dr. Kelly Blodgett doesn't want, because I do just want to say, just do what you need to do, and you want to trust them, because I just trust that people have the highest intentions for you, but maybe that's naivety on my part. This episode of Talk Healing to Me is sponsored by Clean Boss, created by Joy Mangano, the legendary inventor behind the Miracle Mop and a pioneer in clean innovation. Clean Boss is a botanical disinfectant that kills 99.9% of viruses, germs, and bacteria. It's safe for food surfaces, soft surfaces, and baby high chairs with no toxic ingredients and no rinse required. It's also a degreaser, odor eliminator, and all-purpose cleaner that works as hard as the chemical-heavy stuff without the health risks. Check it out at getcleanboss.com/Karen for a clean, better, and living safer life. The seventh one was body-wide symptoms can start in the mouth. So this part shocked me, I have to say. Dr. Kelly told stories about eczema and joint pain and even knee issues. And there was one particular post that I saw on his social media, which are his links are shared in the show notes. But all resolving after dental infections or root canals were addressed. I mean, it's wild, and it makes sense. You know, chronic inflammation doesn't stay in one place, so of course it's going to go to others. I don't think I'd ever make the connection that it might be your teeth unless it is near it. We did have a client in the past, a nursing supervisor, Jen, and Jen had a lot of issues with her mouth and dry mouth. And we thought, first of all, that might have been from medication, but she also had a lot of pain, and she did have a lot of dental work done in the past. And she ended up having a conversation with Dr. Blodgett. Some things were resolved, and then we fixed some other things too. But it's amazing how when you do fix some of those things and that you're thought about in a whole health way, that things can come together in a really fascinating course of events. Jen, actually, her pain has improved so much, her mobility has improved so much, and that wasn't just from her dental work. This is from everything overall. But she's gone back to work full time, which is just incredible. It's always great to hear that. But yes, feel free to have a look at Dr. Kelly Blodgett's Instagram and have a look at those things. There's a before and after of this man's knee. That is really interesting. The 8th point was stress literally changes the chemistry in your teeth. So when you're calm, your teeth push fluid outward. It's protective. I thought he was joking when he said this. And then apparently when you're stressed, the flow reverses. So toxins can enter your teeth. Like, let that sink in. This is why the nervous system work matters so much. And also, you know, what we eat and when we eat it, and all of that oral health as well. But that was the first day that I learned that, and they definitely don't teach that in school. The 9th one was joy, play, and parasympathetic energy help heal your mouth too. So it turns out that giggling, dancing, napping, being held doesn't just heal your mind, it helps your oral microbiome too. So yes, joy is the medicine even for your teeth. And you may notice a pattern here in these episodes. You know, Dr. Sherry Walling spoke about very, very similar things in last week's episodes too. So it is the answer, you know, the slowing down, the allowing yourself and giving yourself permission to pause and have fun and rest really is key. Ready to turn inspiration into transformation? Join the Inner Circle Book Club, where we explore life-changing books that spark energy, confidence, and joy. Each month we read, reflect, and challenge ourselves with exclusive coaching, powerful insights, and engaging discussions. It's more than just reading, it's about real change. Join us with the link in the show notes and get ready to start your next chapter today. I look forward to seeing you on the other side. Let's grow together. And the 10th one is you deserve personalized care. You know, we do that in MS to Success, but in dentistry too. No two people with the same diagnosis or otherwise with the same goals have the same needs. And that includes your oral care. And Dr. Kelly's mission is to treat the human first, just like MS to Success. So healing is personal and it's not cookie cutter. So they are the 10 top takeaways in condensed format from that conversation this week. He really had me rethinking everything I thought I knew about dentistry And so if even one of these points has sparked something in you, please take it seriously. Ask more questions, trust your body, and be your own advocate. And if you're on a journey to heal with MS, I'd love to support you in a more personal way. You're welcome to watch our masterclass at ms2success.com. It's a few minutes that might connect the dots that no one else has linked for you before. I want to give some shout outs to our clients who are doing amazing things. One of them this week was able to go into her office. This was she's only in the program a month. She was able to go into her office in central London with very little assistance, and she wouldn't have the confidence before or the capability to do that, and she's now nailing it. Another client was able to go for a medical review and was no longer afraid of needles because of the clinical hypnotherapy work that we do in the program as well. So it's not just about food, it's not just about movement. We look at your whole life and health, because it all matters. Let's see. We had Brona, who noticed that her grip has started to improve and also noticed her jaw loosening and her speech was better. She actually only left her job a few weeks ago, something that she wanted to do for so long but didn't have the confidence to do it. And she's now pursuing her real life passion. When she shows up on the calls, oh my goodness, she is glowing, the smile on her face. I feel like her face has even changed from her building that confidence and trust in herself and taking that leap of faith and changing career, which is gorgeous. Sandrina said this week that she has more energy and less aches, and that our batch cooking and the meditations work. How very cool. Siobhan said she did her veg and salad prep twice throughout the week, which led to her eating very healthily. We also got a couple of emails. We said that someone said here, Denise said she wanted to celebrate her mum, who is doing her absolute best, looking after her and her sisters and being a single mom and dealing with MS as well. And she is so proud of her. Well, we are proud of her too. Thank you for sending that in. And we have one more. And this is from Suzanne, who said, I want to celebrate me this week. I stood up to my boss, who wasn't being very nice, after listening to the podcast and getting a little bit more confidence to speak my mind. Well, good for you and well done. That is marvelous, marvelous, marvelous to hear. Well, look, if you want to celebrate your win or you want to celebrate somebody else's, please email us at podcast@talkhealingtome.com. We would love to celebrate you, big, small, and anything in between. Until next time, talk healing to yourself, and we will see you soon. Bye for now. Thank you to our sponsors of this episode. You can visit getcleanboss.com/Karen. And also a thank you to our video and podcast producer and editor, Aoife McNamara at Imagine Media. Thank you.